Next sutra, 26. Phalarupatvat. So why is this bhakti so great? He says it is phalarupi. It will give you that fruit of divine love which will enslave God Himself. This fruit of divine love that we are talking about is a power of God. And He will give us this power when we engage in bhakti. God has got unlimited powers. Unlimited. We people have different powers, the power to see, taste, touch. God too has got innumerable powers. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, in his commentary on Vedant, he declared that God has got no powers. He is Shakti Rahit, he is formless, attributeless, Avyakta Shakti Rahit, Nirgun Nirvishesh Nirakar Brahma. However, an incident occurred in Shankaracharya's life. When he went to Kashi, the city of scholars, he was residing in Kashi. Now, every day he would go with his disciples to bathe in the Manikarnika Ghat. One day, a woman was sitting and blocking the path. The dead body of her husband was in her lap. Because of these two, there was no way to go. So Shankaracharya stopped and requested, Mother, please give us way. That woman was crying, my husband was so dear to me, why did he have to go? Shankaracharya said in a louder tone, Mother, please give way. She started wailing even more loudly. Now, finally, Shankaracharya got a little irritated and he said, Mother, what is the use of crying? Is your husband going to come back? The woman all of a sudden turned around to him. She said, Acharya, why are you telling me? Tell my husband. Let him get up, walk off, clear the path. Shankaracharya said, Mother, what kind of demand are you making? He is a dead body. How can he just walk off like that? He doesn't have any Shakti. He doesn't have any energy. The lady said, Acharya, in your bhashya, in your Sharirik bhashya of the Vedanta, you have said God doesn't have any Shakti. But we know that God has made this world. Can God make this world without Shakti? To do anything, you need power or Shakti. If God has made such an amazing world, He must be possessing innumerable powers through which He has made this world. And you are saying He is Avyakta Shakti Rahit. If your statement is right, that God can make this world without Shaktis, then to prove your point, let this dead body also get up and walk off. Shankaracharya was stunned into silence. Who is this woman? She has found such a big fallacy in my commentary. He started thinking that when I had debated with Ved Vyas could not defeat me. So he closed his eyes, and when he opened his eyes, the whole scene had changed. That woman was no longer there. In her place, the Adi Shakti of God, Mother Durga, was sitting on a lion. Shankaracharya realized that the Divine Mother has come to reveal this point to me. He lay down flat on the ground and offered his obeisance. And the praise that emanated from his mouth at that time, that is well known as the Anand Lahiri. Amongst the important praises, sutras, stotras of Mother Durga, one is Saundarya Lahiri composed by Shankaracharya, the other is Anand Lahiri, which he composed at that time, in which he admitted that God creates the world with his Shaktis. So you are governing that Maya Shakti, and you are actually the Nimitta Karan of this creation. So the Srishti Sthiti Pralaya is taking place by your power, he said to Mother Durga. So Durga is the Yogmaya power of God. And that Yogmaya power manifests in different ways, as Sita, as Radha, as Lakshmi, as Kali. So these personalities are not just women. This point creates a lot of confusion. People say, I can understand the God, but who is this woman sitting by the side of God? Don't look on them as women, otherwise you'll become confused. They are the divine power personified. And just like the different forms of God are one, he who is Ram is also Krishna, is also Shiv, is also Narayan. Similarly, the different forms of the Divine Mother are one. Thus, Radha, Durga, Sita, Kali, Lakshmini, they are all one. They are not to be differentiated. Ved Vyas himself writes in the Brahma Vaivartak Puran, Shri Krishna is saying, Yatha tvam radhika devi goloke gokule tatha Vaikunthe cha Mahalakshmi bhavati cha Saraswati bhavati bhartya lakshmischcha kshirodashaina priya dharmaputra vadhustvancha shantir lakshmi swarupini kapilasya priya kanta bharate bharati sati dwaravatyam Mahalakshmi bhavati rukmini sati tvam sita mithilayancha tvachhaya draupadi sati Ravanena rita tvancha ramasya kamini. He says, O Radha, these are all your different forms. So that Radha ji is the Yoga Maya power of God. And all that God does is by his powers. Without those powers, he would remain formless light. Thus it is said that Radha has given Krishna a form. It is by Radha's power that his abodes manifest. It is by Radha's power that he does divine pastimes. Without the power, what remains? Of course, that does not mean that we have to differentiate between Radha and Krishna, because Shaktiman and Shakti are one. Just like you cannot differentiate between the fire and its heat and light. They are one. The moon and the moonshine, they are one. The milk and its whiteness, they are one. They cannot be separated. Similarly, Krishna and Radha, Shiv and Parvati, Sita and Ram, they cannot be separated. Yeyam Radha yascha Krishno rasabdhir dehe naikah kridanartham dvidhabhut. We are not to consider them as different. Hence Kripaluji Maharaj says, Joi Radha soi Krishna hai, inme bhedan mana, ik hai ladini shakti aru, shaktiman ik jan. One is the Shaktiman and the other is his Shakti. So all that Sri Krishna is doing is through that Shakti. So Radha has got tremendous Anugamini, subsidiary, subservient Shaktis. And this Maya Shakti is one of the lowest subservient Shaktis. Through that Yog Maya, God is seated in the hearts and we have no knowledge of it. We cannot even feel it. But most importantly, one of the aspects of that Yoga Maya is the Prema Shakti that we are all interested in. That divine love. That is the goal of our life. So that Prema Shakti we will get by the grace of Radha. That is why people in Vrindavan, they say, Radhe Radhe, Sham se mila de. Oh Radha ji, you bestow your grace and I will meet Sri Krishna. So this is the importance of the Radha Tattva. Some people asked me yesterday, Swamiji, please elaborate a little on it. Why is devotion to Radha so important? Well, you can worship Krishna alone by himself, but that sweetness will not come and the grace will be less. Just like there is a mother and her child. If you want to please the mother by serving her, she will not be very impressed. But if you start serving the child, the mother will say, oh, what a nice person, he likes my child so much. Similarly, Sri Krishna is not very pleased when we serve him. But when we serve Radharani or we serve Krishna through Radharani, he is even more pleased. So the attitude is the servant of the servant. That we wish to serve Sri Krishna, but we serve through Radharani, and that becomes even more pleasing to Krishna. So that bhakti or divine love, which is one aspect of Radharani, that is what we want, and that we will get by engaging in devotion. And that bhakti, when we get, God himself will become a servant. So one Sufi saint says, Daulat mili hai ishq ki, ab aur kya mile? I have got divine love, what else remains? वो चीज मिल गई है जिससे खुदा मिले. So now Narad ji has concluded that this is phala rupatvat. He is going to go on describing the different aspects of devotion, how to engage in devotion, what will be the things you should do, what will be the things you should avoid. This is going to continue in the following sutras, but we are completing our discussion with the sutra number 26 in this retreat. Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki